Fantastic Four. Why did I do that for the opening? Yeah, that little fanfare is stuck in my head. It's been ever since I saw this movie. But yeah, I got to saw the new Fantastic Four First Steps. The first the first iteration of the Marvel's first family in the MCU. How was it? Uh, it was pretty good, I want to say. It was pretty good. I think I want to watch this one more time before I get my definitive grading on this because while I love this movie, I also felt like a little out of it, I guess you could say, because I love so much about this film, but there was something like unlike Superman, which I didn't give a review about Superman. Might actually did next week. Unlike Superman, I there was a part of me that I wasn't fully able to disappear into the story. I guess you could say like there was just felt like there was something very missing in this movie. But plot wise, what is the plot about this film? In this version, sorry, that's straighten up. In this version of the Fantastic Four, we do not take place in the main MCU universe. We travel to a different universe, a different Earth, and we get this here. Fumbling my words. In this one, the Fantastic Four have been around for 4 years now. They are the established superheroes. They are the only superheroes of this world. And we open the film very much like here is the Fantastic Four. This is their powers. This is how they got their powers. And Reed and Sue are expecting. The really opening is really just them. Hey, we're pregnant. We've been trying for a while, but it's finally happening. And while they are enjoying the time as the baby is about to show up, they're just being the heroes of this world. They get a call from Galactus. The Silver Surfer comes to warn them that Galactus is coming. He's going to eat your planet. The Fantastic Four travel to space to negotiate, and it only kind of makes things worse. But yeah, pros and cons of this film. I think the biggest thing I loved about this movie is the look. Like I said, does not take place in the main Marvel universe. This takes place in its own separate reality, where it's kind of like the '60s but futuristic. There's flying cars. There's these unique little televisions and other little things, where it's old school but it's still sci-fi, and I love that. I love the aesthetics. I If you've been on this channel for any time, you know that I love old school movies. I love classic films. I love time. I love the word over period pieces. I love when a movie can capture an era that is not our own. And I love how they decided to do this. Everything just looks like I just want to get the Blu-ray and just go frame by frame just to see every little details. I just love how they shot this. And character wise, all the characters in the movie are great. All the actors are great. Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards. I have my doubts. I don't hate Pedro Pascal. He gets a lot of hate, and I'm not going to get in on that as justified or not. I do think he's a little overutilized a bit, and I had doubts him playing Mr. Fantastic, but he does a really good job. He captures a part of the character that I don't think the other guy from the Fox movies did, because he knows he's the smartest guy in the room, and it kind of alienates him to a bit. He doesn't like when when he realizes certain things. Like that's how I'll leave it. I'll leave it at that. Sue, Sue is great. I love her strength, her motherly energy. Johnny is great. I love how he's kind of like how I guess how you compare him to Chris Evans. Johnny, he's he's a goofball, but he's not an asshole. He just feels like the chaotic younger brother of the group, and I like that. I like that. I like that he's very smart too. He's smart, just like Reed, just like Sue and Ben, but he's not. He's not super smart. Like he's not overt with it. He figured things out a little differently than everybody else. I think the character that probably suffers the most in this is probably the Thing, because all of the characters have a story arc. You got these two dealing with being new parents and the challenges that are coming with that, and the challenges that Galactus is putting upon them. You got Johnny trying to figure out the Silver Surfer, trying to figure out this code that's going through space. Ben, he doesn't get really anything like that, because this is, like I said, this is the fourth year of them being the Fantastic Four. So Ben is pretty much accepted who he is. He's accepted that he is a Thing. There are little glimpses where it's shown that it still bothers him being a Rock Man, and it doesn't fully go anywhere because he has this somewhat romance with this one character who I think is supposed to be original character for this version. It's not the normal blind woman he's kind of paired with, and you have some small cute interactions, but it doesn't fully go anywhere. It's like 3 scenes and that's about it. Other characters are great, but I feel like they needed more time. Like Shalabal's on Silver Surfer, who, I'm sorry, this might make some people mad. I loved her. I liked her. I thought she was great. I thought they could have done a little bit more with her, but I thought how to utilize her to be powerful and intimidating, fantastic. I, I didn't plan to say that. It just came out. um, how they show her backstory, I thought it was really good, because in the Rise of the Silver Surfer, the one that came out to like 2007, right? When they do that Silver Surfer, Norman Rad's backstory, he's just telling it to Sue. He's just like, "Oh, Galactus came to just devour my world. I had to save my love, my people." And, he's just telling it to her. I'm probably making it sound more boring than it actually was. Haven't watched the movie in a minute, but he's just telling to her. We get this really cool visualization of her backstory, of what she's about, because throughout the whole movie is portraying her as this cold, heartless monster. But then we got this one, I would call it epic scene with her and Johnny, and the emotion that I always forget her name, but the actress be able to put on her face, loved it. Other characters that kind of, well, I guess you could call it Galactus. Galactus, he is not much of a character in this. He's more like, sorry, he's kind of more like just the big kaiju that they have to face. He has some really cool lines. The actor voicing him does a great job, but you feel like you need more of him. The present threat of Galactus isn't fully felt, I guess you could say. I don't know. Because there is something about him where it's so cool when he finally fully shows himself. But it's not like the gigantic Galactus that you kind of see like in the comics or some of the animated shows. He doesn't feel like this full powerhouse threat. Which is kind of weird because his introduction is so creepy, it's so overwhelming, because you see him eat a planet, and how this Galactus eats planets is I really like this. I really like the interpretation how he eats planets in this universe. I won't spoil it, but amazing. Or I think where the film falls, or it kind of fails, is it's kind of there's also kind of like my complaint with Superman, which I do need to do a Superman video, is that it feels too short. The movie is an hour and 59 or hour and 56, and it feels like it's missing like 15 to 20 minutes in it. Because I know John Malkovich was it John Malkovich? Yeah, he was supposed to have a scene or a whole plot line as his villain, and that got cut. And you can kind of see where that. Sorry, I thought I heard something. You can kind of see where that those kind of cuts happen, because the opening is kind of this big epic montage, and you feel like, oh, he's probably supposed to be a little bit more there. And after that montage, where it's just kind of like it's like a 9 months journey of the baby and all that kind of stuff. Them getting ready for the baby, the build up to Galactus and Shalabal. It feels like there could have been a little bit more there, a little bit more for the characters to do, a little bit more for the characters to learn about. Like I said, with Ben, all the three main characters, well, these three get so much to do and explore, but Ben doesn't really have anything. You feel like there's gonna be some big payoff with him and that woman. Like they may get together, they may go on a date or something, but they really don't. And it kind of leaves the thing just being there, which I don't mind because I really do like this version of the thing. I love the way he looks. It just, I feel like you could throw him a little bit more of a bone. Like the whole film feels kind of rushed in a way. Like there's something I don't know what I can say. I need to watch it one more time and break it down a little bit more. But I feel like there's something missing. And I feel like the first part is rushed, then you got the second half is rushed as well. But that kind of makes sense because they're preparing for Galactus. They need to hurry up because if they're not ready and Galactus comes, everything is screwed. But the final third act, the final battle with Galactus, amazing, epic. Yeah, can feel just how small the Fantastic Four compared to him, and not just like in size, but just in power in general. That the only reason why Galactus kind of failed because he didn't take them seriously, and I like that. I like that. And there's one little emotional bit at the end with Johnny and the Silver Surfer, which I won't say what it is, but it got me. It got me. It got me a little teary eyed, and I'm not sure why while I did love the characters and I felt and all the actresses expressed their emotions fantastically. This is one line where Johnny is talking. He's about to make this big sacrifice, and I'm not sure what is it, but I don't know. It's just the character or the performance. It actually hit me for some reason. It almost got me a little teary eyed. Actions are there's not a lot of action sequences in this movie, which is a shame because all the characters get their good. All the bump the words again. That's why I have water right here that I'm drinking. All the characters get a lot to do in the final act. Got to show off their powers, but besides that, you don't get a lot of action in the movie, which I'm not gonna complain about really because you get this one epic chase scene in the middle. It's just I don't know. It felt like there's going to be a little bit more, especially now, especially when you learn that there is a whole subplot cut from the film. And well, I love how Johnny, Sue, Ben use their powers. They don't give anything much to do for Mr. Fantastic. Mr. Fantastic barely uses his powers in the film. It's I'm not gonna complain about. Not 10 years old like when I saw Spider-Man 2 and hated it because there's not a lot of action in the movie. Where I love the film now. You know, a lot of his great scenes come from him showing his intelligence, showing that he's kind of scared of what his brain is telling him. Scared because he knows the right play is going to destroy him, destroy his family. But no, his actual stretchiness, they don't really show it like that. You see him extending his legs and arms to do these kind of reach moves, but that's about it. Um, I can't remember his name, but the guy who played Mr. Fantastic in the first two Fox movies, they do a lot with his powers, how he uses his powers, the way he can shape shift and mold himself. That is really cool, but you don't get a lot of that in here. And I'm not sure it's because of the budget or because they're trying to rush this out for Doomsday or whatever. So whatever whatever kind of movie Doomsday is supposed to be, just make Mr. Fantastic be more stretchy. Make him be more stretchy. And that's about it. That's all I can really say without going more into spoilers and just ranting about the whole movie. I really loved it. It was nearly perfect for me. It was just, I'm not sure because of that lost subplot or because the opening is kind of like how the first act is structured. I just have I couldn't fully fall into the characters again, into the world like that. When we got to the second half, when we first meet Galactus and the rush to prepare for Galactus, I found that a lot more engaging, a lot more fascinating. I wish there was a little bit more with the Silver Surfer, a little bit more with Galactus. With how much they're on screen is awesome, but I feel like we needed a little bit more. They have they, don't want to spoil it. Don't want to spoil it. But yeah, we need a little bit more of them. I want to say, at least for me. But yeah, nothing really to complain about except for the pacing in a way. I think it was fantastic. It's near perfect, which I haven't really said that for a while in a Marvel movie. Because if you see my review of not Winter Soldier, Brave New World, I thought the movie was a Frankenstein's mess. Thunderbolts, didn't get my review for Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts I thought was good. Um, but you can tell like things were a bit the script needed a little bit more work to it. This perfect on all fronts. It's just the pacing was a little off. Something needs to be. You need a little bit more time with this character with these characters in this world. And that's all I really have to say. The movie ends on a happy, good note, which feels kind of weird because how they're going to tie this into Doomsday. So, only time will tell. But yeah, Fantastic Four, First Steps is fantastic. Loved it. Can't wait to watch it again whenever. And I catch it. I say catch it while it's still in theaters. Catch it on an IMAX screen if you can afford it because it looks fantastic. And that's how I'm going to end the video. Okay, bye.